Hello everyone and welcome to 27. We are now back with, for those of you that have been following my 12 cars thing, this is car number 11 and it's now going to be sold. So today I thought I'd do a little feature on the Evora, but also what it's possible to replace it with. And my friend Alex has just bought an M135i. Now I need something a little bit more practical than the Evora, and also I want something which is cheaper to tax, to insure and to run, and this kind of fits the bill in almost every way. MPG isn't too bad on them. On the motorway apparently you can get sort of 35, something like that, so you know it'll be about 10 miles per gallon up on this car. Also the road tax is around, I think, 200, 250 depending on the variant that you get, whereas on this it's 630 a year. I think it's the top rate. It's really high. Insurance is high. And also you just can't take kids in that. That's not a 2+2, it's a 2+0. And I don't know, and I fancy a change and I've got to go for car number 12. Could this be car number 12? I think some of you would probably be a bit disappointed if it was, because maybe it's not special enough. But who knows? Anyway, we're going to take them out. Alex is going to drive my Evora and he's going to let me know what he thinks about that. And then I'm going to take this little baby out and we'll see how it goes. Okay, and now essential, every time you drive this car there's a sport button there. I'm going to press that. Okay, so that gives more noise, sharper throttle. And everyone, this is Doc, or Alex. I've known him for a long time through the Porsche 964s. This is where we met years and years ago. And I actually, Fred, my beautiful frog eye, it was his mum's. Right, let's go, Doc. Does it feel quite alien?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Because it's so different to the BMW, which is a hatch. This is like wide and low.
It is quite high, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not loud, is it? But I mean, you have to rev it. If you rev it all the way through to 6.5, 7, then the noise comes up a bit more.
It's got a nice steering wheel.
Yeah, it's to the right size and right thickness and everything, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's just got that heavier throttle and the heavier clutch pedal.
Yeah.
That's just a bit more sporty car.
Yeah, because otherwise at least you'll get to feel how quick it is.
So, yeah.
Left here. What do you mean, yeah?
Yeah,
Does it feel quite quick?
it doesn't feel slow.
No. Do you see what I mean about the noise becoming a bit nicer when you do rev it?
It does make a nice noise.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Pedals are close together.
Yeah, so I also tend to end up pressing the brake and the throttle at the same time.
That just happened to me, yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of wheel spin, traction control.
Yeah, no, it's as I said, it's quite good on this. It allows for a bit of slip and then it catches it. Yeah, isn't that a nice bit of intake noise? But it just needs more exhaust.
So much of what the car feels like is what the pedals and the gearbox feel like.
Yeah.
Having not driven a car before.
Yeah.
That kind of is the main thing that you're...
That's very true, actually,
yeah. To, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's a car you have to get used to a little bit. It's not a car you can like jump into immediately and just feel at ease. You have to get used to it. But once you are used to it, that stuff, I can tell you from my experience, is second nature. It's fine. It's not, and the pedals, though, they are a bit too close for me as well. I've got big feet though, huge feet, so that could be why. In terms of shove, do you think it's quicker than the BMW? Does it feel about the same? It should by rights be quicker because it's 350 horsepower and it's about the same weight. You're not sure, are you?
Maybe it's because it's a bit more linear because it's a supercharger.
Yeah, it doesn't have that wodge of torque at the bottom.
Yeah.
What do you think about the interior and how all that feels?
It is really nice. There's something slightly odd about the shape of the dashboard. It's a little bit, dare I say, TVR.
How dare you? How dare you?
It's better than TVR.
I think it's quite good, like the dash and everything. And also, there's no squeaks or rattles. It feels quite solid, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's quite good considering.
Yeah.
Right?
What do you think about the way the car looks?
It's a little bit bland.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to be understated and have a pretty car,
yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, people seem to be split on them. There's people who really, really like the way they look, and I quite like it, but I know there's something not right about it, but I can't put my finger on what that is. Something isn't right or cohesive about the design, but overall I quite like it. It's impressive, and it's a cool car.
Yeah. Was it the steering? I was expecting, being a Lotus, that turn in and steering. This just feels more like a normal car.
Two things, I think. I think you're right, and it is, and that's what they wanted to do. So it's power assisted for a start, so obviously that takes away, masks some of the feel. But also I think you have to be going a bit quicker to feel the car a bit more with it. Yeah, it's easy to hit the limiter because it's quite smooth and stuff. You get 3 lights that come up on the dash, but it comes so quickly that you don't even see them. But I can see it definitely doesn't inspire confidence in you. I can completely see that. You're really hesitant, and I mean, I know I've been with you, I know you can drive quick if you want to, and I can see you're being ultra cautious.
So I think it's, if you aren't confident that you can get it in the right gear,
that really takes away.
You're going to be... It does feel like it's got not too much grip that you're never going to find the limit of it.
Yeah.
And not so much power that you're going to overpower it everywhere. Good balance of power and grip, I think, and just the little bits of moving around is done.
Yeah.
It feels pretty benign in the way it's doing that.
Yeah. So the verdict at this point is underwhelmed.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, because it doesn't have, for a Lotus, you
Yeah.
kind of want that little Mark 1 MR2, like say a Lee's, kind of pointy, throw it around kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's not slow, but the supercharger doesn't make it feel like it's
super
kind
quick.
of excitingly fast.
Yeah. You definitely haven't felt it at its best.
Yeah.
So you really need to be on, I think, better roads. And when you're driving it quicker, I think that's when you suddenly start to feel, wow,
you
this
need
is
just
quite
a
a
couple
good car.
of flowing kind of 40, 50 mile an hour bends.
So I know I gave you a shit test drive, but that's the nature of my YouTube channel. Flawed. So that's no traction control. You're brave. You've seen me drive. Feeling reckless today. Wow. That feels so different as well. That feels just taking off with the clutch. The clutch is so much lighter and so much smoother that it just feels really artificial though.
Yeah, well this
like
is it. It definitely feels like modern car,
Yeah.
like you're playing a computer game.
Yeah.
Right, and the steering is really light. So
I was going to say the steering is even lighter than on the Evora, and the throttle is super light as well.
Yeah.
But it's got quite a long travel.
Reasonably. Within Sport and Sport Plus, it's
a bit more responsive.
It's more responsive.
So where does the turbo really kick in?
Oh, do you know what? I suppose it makes torque from like 2,500 RPM.
The Evora is definitely quicker than this. Without a doubt. You don't agree, do you? I think it's definitely quicker. It wouldn't take a lot for the back end to come out, would it?
No.
It really is fairly easy. Body control on the ride definitely feels worse than the Evora. I like the turn-in. The turn-in is actually sharper than I was expecting.
Yeah, on that road there, definitely the Evora was more
it was
composed,
just more. It was much more composed. You can feel it moving around a lot.
And I think these are renowned for that. People have made that complaint a lot.
Yeah, to me, the Evora definitely feels faster. And I mean, it should be, but it
I
definitely
think from the
feels
passenger
faster.
seat, I would, having just been out in the Evora, I'd agree. It does feel, you can feel the extra power a bit there.
Oh, but this feels playful.
It does.
I think so.
I don't know what he was looking at, but it wasn't the road.
No, I mentioned to you that I've never really felt confident enough to really get the Lotus into a big slide.
Yeah.
Whereas this, within 5 minutes of being in it, and it's not my car, I'm already feeling like on the sharper, slower corners, I'd quite like to push it out a little bit.
Just to test the limit.
It just feels more natural with that. And maybe it's also because you can let that happen when it's going a little bit slower, I don't know.
I think because, front end and rear wheel driving pleasure is what BMW are all about. I think they've dialed that in, so you get that feel like you can grab it by the scruff of the neck a little bit.
This is much smoother than the Lotus. And it definitely feels more toy-like, like the engine
more,
as well, to me it definitely feels like it's got less poke, but it's still, it's nice and meaty, and it is all about that torque. The main question I kind of wanted to answer in a way by doing this test, Doc, is can you get one of the best, we know this is flawed in terms of the body control, but can you get one of the best modern hatches, and can you happily compare that to a purpose-built mid-engine supercar? A modern hatch is that good? And my answer in terms of the actual completely focused driver experience, even though the Evora is more usable and it's not as sharp as an Exige and so on, I think that definitely this is still a hot hatch. I really like it, and I think that based on what we've done today, I am going to be buying one.
Yeah.
I really like it, but in terms of driving feel, I know you weren't enamoured with the Evora, but I promise you that if you got used to it, and you got used to that gear change, which isn't intuitive, and you got used to the pedals, I'm still not used to that. I still press the throttle when I press the brake if I'm being a bit too quick. But when you get used to all that, it feels like a sports car. Yeah. This feels like a playful puppy, which is what I'm very happy to have at the moment. Yeah. But that is still what it is. Oh, nice.
And
that is nice. That is really playful. Yeah. In corners, I love that.
Yeah. And that's the diff. Without the diff, it would just be, the traction control would be trying to manage one of the wheels. Okay. Putting 320 horsepower through it. And it just doesn't work.
Thanks very much, Doc. Thanks for coming down. Sorry you didn't
good fun.
bond with the Evora, and I apologise, it was just a really shit test drive, to be quite honest with you, but interesting to hear your comments on that. And more importantly though, two things. First of all, can a really good sports hatch live up to a purpose-built Lotus mid-engine sports car? I guess we should have known that it really can't. But in terms of fun, in a lot of ways, it's probably more fun than the Evora, especially for a cat-candid driver like me, who doesn't have the skill to really get that sliding around. This feels like, if you put your foot down in a corner and stuff, you can have fun with it. And in terms of quality, it's probably about on par with the Lotus, or do you think? Well, I don't know that. The dash isn't leather covered.
No, you're right. Yeah.
And I can't see any aluminium buttons.
They're a total lack of aluminium buttons. I don't know why and the stuff that looks like it might be is plastic.
Yeah, so, exactly. So to be honest, the Lotus is obviously a class above.
I think BMW need to go back to school. maybe
well, go to Hethel.
Lotus. Yeah.
Go to Hethel and have a chat with them about about gluing dashboards and things like that.
The proper glues to use.
What glues to use? Awesome, thanks, Doc.
Cheers.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm going to start doing videos a little bit more regularly again. Not quite the same as before, but I've got a Ferrari 6112 Scaglietti coming up. I'm going to do a feature on Ferrari's V12, so keep an eye out for that. And see you soon. Ooh, no, let us through. Oh, you're kidding me. What a wanker. I guess he doesn't know we're filming. But that is really annoying. He has even thanked us. But I was like, just let us through, man. Fucking pro, huh?
One take.
Yeah, amazing. That's it, yeah. One shit take, but one take.
But yeah, when I took it out for the test drive, it was like, well, this is playful and fun, and I can trust the wife to drive it.
I won't put that on for video, Alex.
And not hurt herself or the children,